Hi, everybody. I wanted to come and share with you some things about how exercise benefits your brain. I know that by now we're in the middle of Unit 5 and you have learned some good things about the benefits of exercise, but what it does for the brain is truly amazing. So let's take a look. To begin with, I want to show you this graphic of a brain scan that was done on activation levels of the brain that were caused just simply by a 20-minute walk. By now, you've seen the video that I posted that shared with you that you don't have to do a huge, complicated workout in a gym or have a trainer or a coach take you through your paces. Just simply walking can give you benefits, and this proves it. Is a brain scan that was done in a study by a major university in the United States. And as you see, it's highlighted on the left is the brain activity for the same individual who was asked to sit quietly for about 30 to 40 minutes. And then they put them on a treadmill, walked them for 20 minutes at just a slow pace. It would be like if you went out and took a leisurely walk with your dog. And after 20 minutes, you can see right here the difference in the brain activity just from a short 20-minute walk versus being quiet and calm. Now, of course, we want to have those quiet and calm times, but this is the boost in brain activity from a 20-minute walk. So that's pretty significant if you look at that. And this is, as I shared with you, scientific data that was done with a real scan that was done on the brain by a university. So some other things that it does is it improves your attention span. It helps you multitask, and you can see if this much of the brain was activated, uh, how much more you would be able to think and process and do different things with this much of the brain activated. It boosts your brain's ability to problem solve. It helps your brain function in planning and organization. And here's a great thing, it also can help those areas of the brain that control our behavior and impulsive behavior especially. It actually triggers activation in areas for impulse control, which will help you make better decisions. So just those things alone would be worth a 20-minute walk. But that's not all it does for the brain. As you continue, you can see some other amazing benefits. For example, exercise has been found to slow brain shrinkage that occurs in adults with Alzheimer's. There's an awful lot of research out there now on Alzheimer's and the kinds of things that can be done to prevent it, to slow it down, and hopefully to find a cure for those who are afflicted with this disease. And as I shared with you in some of those studies, they looked very carefully at the impact of exercise on the brain function and actually on the structure of the brain itself. They had found that as this disease progressed in adults, that the brain would begin to shrink as neurons died and memory loss became more profound and began to literally interfere even with bodily functions until death occurred. But in adults who continue to exercise and were put on physical therapy programs who were diagnosed with Alzheimer's, their brains were less apt to shrink than those in other adults. That's huge. Here's another impact of exercise on the brain. It increases blood flow to the brain. This increases, again, the size of the brain, the density of the brain, and that has to do with the neurons that are created and built and nurtured by blood flow capillaries, and which carries oxygen to the brain and helps support the survival of those neurons, and it helps your neurons fire more quickly. And that means that you can think through a problem more quickly, your reaction times would increase, and many other kinds of functions. Another thing it does is that it helps children. Ages 9 and 10-year-old children were studied and found that it helps them improve their memory. Well, think about this from an academic standpoint. At this age, kids are learning an awful lot of foundational types of academics in math, in reading, in science, and even in languages now, as they're beginning to teach foreign languages earlier and earlier in academic lifetime of children. So all of that is improved and helped in learning those concepts and remembering them by regular exercise. Another one is that it reduces gray matter loss. The gray matter is the tissue in your brain, and the tissue in your brain, of course, is made up of cells. And so this is something that happens and decreases as neurons begin to die, as people age, and they are not replaced. You can replace the cells. Let's say you get an infection in your thumb and cells die because of that infection. Well, those skin cells and other cells that have been damaged are actually replaced by new ones and healthy cells. That's not so when it comes to the brain. Once neurons die, they are not repaired and they are not replaced. Now, over time, this occurs normally. And that's one of the reasons why you may see in very, very, very older adults, you may see beginning signs of dementia and other kinds of things, loss of motor control and sensory functions. However, exercise can put that off and can actually decrease the number of neurons that die and a decrease in that gray matter. Finally, exercise can help improve your concentration and attention. And again, for those of you who are in high school and college, this means that you're going to have faster reaction times and you can focus more on attention and be more attentive on the subjects that you're learning. But also, then that equates and transfers over into memory. And so you're going to be able to learn more. You're going to be able to do better on tests. And that has actually been researched and found to be true. So there are many, many, many amazing benefits to exercise on the brain. So as you're exercising, you may be like the brain here that says it's worth it, it's worth it, it's worth it. And the heart says, stop saying that, but not until we believe it. So you may be in that stage, but the truth is, if you have a fit body, then you're also going to have a fit brain. I hope this helped, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and thanks for listening.